Greetings, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. November 24th should be a day that is on everybody's calendar, regardless of whether or not you celebrate the American holiday of Thanksgiving. I almost feel like Kabam shouldn't even have the Glory Store be an option this week, because they technically reset it, right? Technically, it's back, but the difference in price and value is laughable. Half of a tier 2 alpha starts at 250 glory. And then we have such a pathetic amount of tier 5 basic for 300 glory. So 300 for 6750, half a tier 2 for 250. Just think about that for a second, because when we darken the screen and we go to the updated cost of glory for especially Paragon players, which of course is relevant because I'm Paragon, that's what you saw I'm from. Instead of 6,750 tier 5 basic, how about half of one, which I believe is 22,500 tier 5 basic catalyst fragments. Half of a tier 5 basic cost 160 glory. Half for 160, or 140 more glory for 6750. It's laughable. In order to get half of a tier 2 alpha, guarantee 4 of these? Well, that's a little bit more. That's 1500 glory. How much glory could you get tier 5 basic with 1500? Well, let's just do the math, right? 1,500. You'd have to go all the way up to 1, 2, 3 fully formed tier 5 basic for the cost of half of one in a week from Thursday. And then on top of that, the tier 2 alpha. I mean, look at this. I know it starts at 80 and then goes up by 20 each time. But 180 plus 120 is 300. You get 3 tier 2 alpha for 300 glory. 300 glory gets you half of one. So it's 6 times the value plus something's left over. But what the biggest difference is, for those of you who tell me, Prof, this is going to be my strategy, and I've already talked shop behind the scenes because I'm a huge nerd and I'm proud of it. But the Catalyst store is where so many people, including myself, and I've already maxed out my purchases this week of tier 5 basic and tier 2 alpha. Did it on day one. They say, I'm going to use some units for that. Okay? I'm going to use my units for tier 2 alpha and tier 5 basic. I don't need any from the Glory store, which means with the glory that you're not spending on tier 2 alpha and tier 5 basic, you're going to focus it on something that is far more important to you. And some people, it might be relics, but not to me. You're going to focus it on the new addition, the tier 6 basic and the tier 3 alpha. Now, I do want to point out that unlike the tier 2 alpha or the tier 5 basic, which grow exponentially, I also, if I have one complaint, they have tier 4 class catalyst of the specific class that's 1 per day. They still aren't giving us tier 4 class catalyst selectors like I would like, which is why really Battlegrounds is the new best place to go for those with 100 trophy tokens per pop of those. But I would say it's smart to not go past 15% for tier 5 basic, or excuse me, tier 6 basic and tier 3 alpha, because you're at about the full week of glory. I get slightly over 4,000 glory per week, and that will get me 15% of a tier 6 basic and 15% of a tier 3 alpha. Now, if you want the best value and you can wait, you should just buy the first tier of those and then just hoard the rest and take advantage of that 500 price point, which is a great starting point. I wish it was like 500, 600, 700, not 500, 650, 800, 950, 1100. That's a big jump. And obviously, I'm thankful for the Tier 2 Alpha and the Tier 5 Basic being way cheaper. But I personally, I know a lot of people don't grind the arena because you value your soul. But since I don't value my soul, I'm going to use a lot of the units that I get from the arena to continue to purchase Tier 2 Alpha and Tier 5 Basic and use my Glory now specifically for rank 4 resources for 6 stars because that's where the game is going and that's what my account needs most. So, my whole Glory strategy has changed. I'm not saying in a pinch I won't go to the Glory store for Tier 2 Alpha or Tier 5 Basic, but my guess is I probably won't do that at all from now on because I won't be out of units because of how much I hoard like a crazy person. Thanks for the feedback, YouTube. Thanks for watching.